Chapter 82, Senior Sister's Whereabouts, Descending Mountain to Exterminate Demons. Who exactly is the demon cultivator? In the presence of everyone, Elder Yu addressed the disciples slowly. Since the day I lost contact with the other elders, the head of our sect personally set out for Langlang Valley to investigate this matter. He suppressed and barricaded the Ghoul sect's 3 top elders, who were executed on the spot. The leader of the Ghoul sect vanished, leading a large number of disciples from the demon path to flee. Guided by the signals from their identity jade plates, the head of our sect found that Elder Guy and many other true inheritance disciples were trapped in the forbidden depths of Langlang Valley. He continued his investigation, and when he sent news back to the sect, he ordered us to eliminate the demonculators scattered around the world. Our mission from the Dragon Sparrow sect this time is not only to exterminate all the demonculators from the Ghoul sect, but also to rescue Elder Guy and others. I will accompany you on this journey. This demon exorcism mission will last for 10 days. All cultivators above the river realm key cultivation level must go. You will mainly deal with ordinary cultivators who have just entered the demon path. As for those powerful demonculators, the direct disciples and the elders will handle them. The mission will be evaluated on a point system, which can be exchanged for rewards. Did all of you understand? After making this statement, Elder Yu looked around and asked with a serious expression. We understand, Master, the crowd repeated in unison, their spirits high. With a mission at hand, it meant there were assessment points to obtain, making it a good trial. Elder Yu paused for a moment and then added, you will be split into several small groups and sent in advance to the cities at the border of the Great Zhou. Each inner sect disciple will lead 10 outer sect disciples and be responsible for 1 city. The first group will be in charge of Cloud Sea City. The members are. After a few moments, Elder Yu had assigned numerous small groups, making clear the responsibilities towards each city. At the very end, she looked at Han Yi and said with an indifferent expression, your eagerness to save your fellow disciples is understandable, but disobedience will not be tolerated again. Thank you for your forgiveness, Elder. Han Yi bowed deeply, showing his gratitude. He understood well that this was a confrontation between 2 sects. Despite having an upper hand, it was crucial to be cautious. After the instruction, Elder Yu revealed a gratified smile and thought to herself, Elder Guy may be a crude and unreasonable man, but he does have a good disciple. Han Yi asked earnestly, Elder, when do we depart? I will go back to Pure Yang Peak immediately to inform all the disciples. She then spoke solemnly, tell the disciples that they can leave the mountain today. Yes. Hanya returned to Pure Yang Peak on his sword, planning to inform everyone about the mission. However, he found that people were already lined up, fully prepared. Pei Likong stood in front of the towering Great Hall in a golden crow-white robe, and declared loudly, Ali, your whereabouts are under the control of the sect. If you encounter danger, send a voice message through your identity jade plate. The sect can sense your location. If any of you get killed by a demon cultivator, it just means you were not strong enough. No one will sympathize with you. If any disciples wish to withdraw, you may step back now. Not a person in the crowd moved. Pei Likong nodded slightly and said, Prepareto depart. One by one, immortal cranes darted towards the sky, 1 foot treading on the air. The disciples began to descend the mountain, setting out to undertake the demon exorcism mission. Pei Likong, noticing the tardy Han Yi, asked with no apparent fluctuation in emotion, are you a disciple of Pure Yang Peak or Ziwei Peak? Don't think that just because you're the top outer sect disciple means you're incredibly impressive and can act as you please. Han Yi scratched his head in embarrassment. If it wasn't for his senior brother's strategies for dealing with the various main peaks, he would have lost already. But he can't say he only went to pick up attributes, right? Senior brother, Pei Likong straight away cut him off, speaking impatiently, enough, I don't want to hear explanations. This demon exorcism trial is very important. It's about the reputation of our Dragon Sparrow sect. To think there are demon cultivators daring enough to challenge us by intruding Qingyun State. They simply don't know how to appreciate life. Hurry up and set off. As he finished saying this, the holy flames behind him twirled backwards, transforming into a pile of ashes, and he vanished on the spot. Seeing this, Han Yi pondered for a moment. During this demon extermination mission, they were mainly assigned to eliminate some weaker demon cultivators, while the stronger ones were to be dealt with by more powerful direct disciples. But how could they identify a demon cultivator? Brother Han, you're back. Lin Shihuang and Wang Daniu hadn't left yet. Their subordinate outer sect disciples had all followed them. Apparently, they were all in the same team. Elder brother said that you will lead a team by yourself, so we asked to be placed in the same team as you. But since we couldn't find you, we were a little angry. Let's set out together now. Wang Daniu pulled out a jade bottle and handed it to Han Yi. What is this? Hanier asked. This is a demon sealing bottle. It can store quite a bit of demon ki and acts as a proof of our eradication of demon cultivators. For every demon cultivator we vanquish, it can store a wisp of their souls. At the same time, it can sense the pulses of demon ki in the vicinity. I see. Han Yi understood. With this thing, they didn't have to fear the hidden demon cultivators. Han Yi didn't expect the sect to be so thorough and continued. Tosk, which city are we heading to? Hangzhou Prefecture under the jurisdiction of the Great Zhou. I heard that the population exceeds 1 million. It won't be easy. As elder brother mentioned, each year demon cultivators roam among mortals, spawning new demon cultivators. This mission is merely a convenient opportunity to eradicate the roots of the ghoul sect. In that case, let's get going. Han Yi had a clear understanding and planned to set off. Brother Han, don't you need to ride an immortal crane down the mountain? Wang Daniu looked at the crimson sword sheath that had been taken out, puzzled. Han Yi shook his head, the corners of his mouth lifting into a smile. No need, I've learned to fly on a sword now. Daniu and Lin Shihuang exchanged glances, filled with surprise. 2 hours later, Han Yi led 10 outer sect disciples, left Qingyun State in a hurry, flew over the Black Abyss River, and arrived at a county town on the Great Zhou border. Then they found a tailor shop and bought 10 sets of clothes. Then he distributed the clothes among his disciples. Wang Daniu inquired, Brother Han, why did you come here to buy clothes instead of going directly to Hangzhou Prefecture? Lin Shihuang honestly switched to the long robe, smilingly explained, Brother Han is afraid that we might expose our identities. If we wear the Dragon Sparrow sect disciples' clothes, it's certainly more convenient. But it would be extremely difficult to get close to those demon cultivators scattered among the mortals. It's best to disguise ourselves as mortals, unnoticed by gods and ghosts. Upon hearing this, Wang Daniu suddenly understood. I see, it's a good plan. Hania smiled faintly, without further explanation. Lin Shihuang had become his spokesman. He didn't need to explain further. Once you're changed, let's go. We're close to Hangzhou Prefecture and I've noticed there's a merchant caravan ahead. We can blend in there as they're passing through Hangzhou Prefecture. Under Han Yi's guidance, the group traveled constantly. By noon the following day, the silhouette of a massive city emerged in the distance. Birds perched on the high city walls, watching the carriages of the merchant caravan slowly enter the city. This is Hangzhou Prefecture. Han Yi finally arrived at the place he was to guard, and he breathed a sigh of relief. He telepathically communicated to everyone, have you all learned the concealment technique? Make sure your cultivation and fluctuation of spiritual ki are hidden. Don't let the other demon cultivators discover you. As the most basic spell, the concealment technique had naturally been acquired by all the disciples present, who had cultivated to the ki cultivation stage of the river realm. They all obediently complied. Once they entered the city with the caravan, Han Yi saw the notices posted throughout the city. Some locals were gathered in small groups, discussing in low voices. The city's controls have tightened recently. What happened? Look, it says on the notice that a bunch of disappearance cases have been popping up. I suspect the demon heads are behind it and mischief is afoot. But going out at night is too dangerous. Just as Han Yi was listening to these local gossips, he noticed a few subtle auras quickly passing by, catching his attention. Since they're disguised, my fox pupils' connect spirit should be able to discern a thing or two. Han Yi slowly thought, then activated the power of fox pupils' connect spirit. His pupils morphed into a vertical shape and started to scan the bustling street. All kinds of shops were everywhere and the crowd was bustling. but after just one glance with his fox pupils, Han Yi couldn't help but shrink his pupils back. Fismini, with just one sweep of his gaze, he saw dozens hidden among the crowd, emanating weak, lingering black auras, forming a large black fog that hung over the street. All in plain clothes, they occasionally look at the pedestrians next to them as if they were looking for someone to trick. "What's wrong, Brother Han?" Seeing Han Ye's peculiar expression, Lin Shihuang couldn't help but ask. For the sake of not startling the snake in the grass and blowing their cover, Han Yi communicated telepathically. "The number of demon cultivators in Hangzhou Prefecture exceeds my expectations. This is just one street. I don't even want to imagine how many demon cultivators are lurking in the entire Hangzhou Prefecture. Brother Han, have you found all of them?" "Just those on this street. I have a clear idea. We must find the opportunity to take them all out at once." Han Yi fell into deep thought, considering the feasible ideas. "We can only follow their trails and find their bases, then catch them all in one fell swoop. Thankfully, this trip down the mountain was one I've prepared for." Having said that, Han Yi took out bottle after bottle of elixir from his ring and distributed them to everyone present. "What is this?" Confused, Lin Shihuang examined the elixir. His mouth curling up in a smile, Han Yi chuckled. "It's desire-dampening goo flower elixir, a goo flower sedative I concocted last night. It's made by fusing various types of pollen. It's colorless, odorless. As long as it's spread in their midst, even while fighting the enemy, merely crush and sprinkle it. And the enemy will glow red, just like a sow in heat, helplessly seduced. Each of you take one for self-defense." Lin Shihuang and Dan Niu looked at each other. Unexpected artifact Han Yi had on him.